Okay, what we'll want to do is when we hit this case right here, let's count that. Alright, so there's a couple ways of counting, but I'll just use the old way here. So every time this happens, we're going to count, right? Every time this takes place. Okay, and we'll just do some copy and paste here. Alright, so that was one case, less than, another case, greater than, and we'll count every time that happens. And then we have the case where they're both equal, okay, and we'll count that one also. Alright, so these are the three possibilities. Now a little bit about the script here. These are the only three possibilities that there are. So you could put an else if statement here, else if this, else that, you know, whatever. I just do it like that. I mean, when it passes through here, it's got to be one of these three. That's all there is to it. So this might be bad practice, but that's the way I do it. Okay, so let's see. We went through. We're going to loop through that 1,000 times. Now, of course, the more times you go out, right, the more times you loop through this situation, the less error, the more accurate you're going to be, obviously. If you looked at the extremes, for example, if we only did this one time, well, that wouldn't be a very good picture to be looking at. So the more times we loop through this, this thing will eventually converge to its theoretical value. And so remember, these are just approximations, but like I said, looping, the more times we loop through this, the closer we get to that theoretical value, so you can increase that number to however much you want. Alright, I thought I ran this thousands pretty good. And the way we're going to be able to know that is because the sum of the probabilities are going to sum to 1. Yep. Okay, so let's set something up for our output. Okay. So we got the probability of, you know what, let's just copy and paste. We've got this case here, right, the probability that the sum of the x's is less than the sum of the y's, right, we've got that case, and we got to put a space in here. I got issues with this guy right here for some reason. I don't know, somebody explain that to me. Plus, so, right, the number of times this happens divided by the total number of times, right, the total number, which is 1,000. Okay, that gives us that probability. You could turn this into a percentage if you wanted to, I suppose. Now that's case 1. Let's go through. We've got some other cases, right? We've got case 2. Case 2 where this is flipped around, and we'll count, right, the number of times that happens, divide that by 1,000, and then of course we have case 3, and this is going to be equal to, and I guess we better do something about that right there. Now we have the sum of the probabilities, we'll just call that the sum, how's that, is equal to the sum of the probabilities. The sum of the probabilities is, so their sum is going to be, right, C1 plus C2 plus C3, divide that by 1,000. That'll be the sum of the probabilities. Alright. Okay. What else? Let's see. We do need to output this stuff, don't we? Output it to somewhere. Alright, so let's do a document dot get element by ID. Whoops. And that ID I think was just output dot enter H. HTML is equal to, okay, so we have case 1 plus, now I'm going to need a break. I break to the next line, we'll do that. And then we have case 2, and we're going to break there, plus, and then case 3. Alright, break, whoops, break there. What's going on here? Okay. Alright, for some reason it's doing that. Okay, whatever. And then plus, and then the sum. Alright, that should be it. Okay. So there you go.